Two things that we as human beings love is debate and pop culture. So it's no surprise that over the course of human history, the two things have become intertwined and we've had debates over pop culture for all of human existence. Storytelling has existed forever, and the art of theater goes all the way back to the ancient Greeks. I have no doubts that the Greeks back in the ancient times were debating over what was their favorite story or what aspects of it were right, what was wrong, who was correct, who was wrong. I bet that cavemen were debating the merits of the cave drawings and about the aspects of the stories being told. As storytelling in theater has developed into modern media, television, and movies, pop culture debates have only raved forward. And that all culminated with the creation of the internet. And now, thanks to websites like X or YouTube, you can debate with nameless, faceless people anywhere in the world about any stupid topic you want. Yet, no matter what, some of these debates have persisted across decades and probably will persist decades into the future. Whether that be if Jack could have fit on the door in Titanic, were Ross and Rachel on a break, what's better, Pepsi or Coke, or was Cobb really dreaming at the end of Inception? However, there's one debate that recirculates every year, where both sides are so stubborn that no matter how much evidence they are presented with, neither will ever budge on their opinion. And that debate is, of course, whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
This is a debate that's always been around, but it really did explode once the internet came onto the scene. Now, if the title and thumbnail didn't tip you off, I am of the belief that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and honestly, after looking into it to form my argument, I don't really think it's that much of a debate. It seems pretty obvious to me that, yes, it is in fact a Christmas movie. The 1988 classic Die Hard stars Bruce Willis playing New York Police Department officer John McClane. McClane has traveled to California to be with his family for the holidays, and once arriving in California, heads to the place of his wife's employment, Nakatomi Plaza. Shortly after his arrival, though, German terrorists take control of Nakatomi Plaza, which is later revealed to be a heist and not actually terrorists. McClane then has to fight through the hotel, killing different members of the heist crew, as well as trying to save the hostages, and, yet he doesn't know it at the time, foil the bank robbery plans of Hans Gruber and his goons. Now, from a basic plot description, I can understand that doesn't exactly sound like a Christmas movie, but you gotta go a little bit more into the weeds to actually come to this conclusion. But in order to first prove this point to you, we need to establish what is a Christmas movie. Now, this is off my own definition, my own opinion on it. Maybe yours is completely different, but I feel like what I'm about to say is a pretty core tenet of this is a Christmas movie. Now, there are multiple things that I think goes into this. First off, and arguably most importantly, the movie has to take place during Christmas. Now, this doesn't mean that every single movie that takes place during Christmas is a Christmas movie, but a movie's not going to be taking place in May and be a Christmas movie just because some of the other aspects fit. No, in order for a movie to be a Christmas movie, it does, in fact, have to take place during Christmas. The next thing that's massively important to any movie being a Christmas movie is the context of the story. What is the story about? What are the themes? Are there connections to Christmas? Is the story reliant on Christmas happening? Those are all different elements of the story that can play into it being a Christmas movie. Another thing that you have to look at is the soundtrack. Are there Christmas songs in it? It's not as much fun to have a Christmas movie without iconic classic Christmas songs in it, or songs that in and of itself become Christmas songs, kind of like The Grinch. And finally, for me, there needs to be some Christmas elements. There's got to be a Christmas tree, a gift exchange, snow, something like that that really ties home the fact that the story and the movie is taking place on Christmas and the world around them is aware that it is in fact Christmas. Now, I wouldn't say every Christmas movie needs to hit every single one of these criteria, but for the most part, it can't just hit one and be good there. I think it needs to have a multiple combination of these things, and it doesn't have to be everything I just mentioned. There can be a few other elements that I left out, but obviously fit under those four main categories. Whereas with Die Hard, it actually meets all four of those categories, which I'll allow me to explain that. So let's start with that first criteria. The most surface level argument you get for Die Hard being a Christmas movie is, well, it takes place during Christmas. And that's very much true in and of itself, is a pretty good argument, but it is very surface level, and you can easily rebut that with other comebacks of movies that also take place during Christmas, but aren't necessarily Christmas movies. Now, to go with that, Hans Gruber and his goons attack Nakatomi Plaza on Christmas Eve during the office Christmas party, which means that the Christmas elements I spoke about are there. There are Christmas trees in the background. Now, the movie is in California. There's not snow, per se, but they actually symbolize snow coming down with office papers flying off of Nakatomi Plaza at the end of the movie. There are Christmas decorations all around, and of course, once John McClane kills his first member of Han's crew, He writes, "Now I have a machine gun, ho ho ho," and puts a Santa hat on his head before sending him down the elevator.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
Now, like I said, this point would get a lot of pushback as to being a very surface level argument as to why Die Hard is a Christmas movie. The easiest rebuttal for that is always Home Alone, and that's usually the best rebuttal for any argument against Die Hard being a Christmas movie. Now, like I said, I don't agree that just because the movie takes place on Christmas is necessarily what makes it a Christmas movie, but I definitely can see that being a decent argument for it. I don't think that it's the strongest argument, but I can definitely see this being a very easy argument to pull out. Now, the easiest rebuttal, like I said, Home Alone. Home Alone is absolutely also a Christmas movie. I just want to make that clear. I'm not of the belief Home Alone isn't a Christmas movie. But at the end of the day, the movie itself could take place on like spring break or fall break or something, and the story would still proceed basically as it does. Outside of some of the trap elements, the story of Home Alone is not entirely reliant on Christmas happening in order for the story is. It's a family that leaves their house for the holidays. One gets left behind. That could happen in spring break. The family could leave on a trip, and Kevin still gets left behind anyway, and the robbers still try to break in. It doesn't specifically need to be Christmas time for the events of Home Alone to happen. Whereas, with Die Hard, the only reason John McClane himself is even out there is because of Christmas time. He would not be flying out to try to make up with his wife and see his kids for Christmas if it wasn't Christmas time. Also, you can make an argument Nakatomi Plaza would be far more busy if it was just a random day. Therefore, Hans Gruber and his guys chose the best time to rob it, knowing the building would be mostly empty. So, you can already see with this, Christmas being the date the movie takes place is far more relevant for Die Hard than it is for Home Alone. Now, if we move on to the soundtrack, Die Hard is absolutely riddled with classic Christmas music. So much so to the point that it actually has some more Christmas songs than some of those holiday classics that are obviously also Christmas movies. The Christmas songs that feature in Die Hard are as follows: Christmas in Hollis, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Jingle Bells, Ode to Joy, and Winter Wonderland. And on top of that, most of these songs repeat multiple times throughout the movie, whether it be because it's playing at the Christmas party, or John McClane is whistling it, or one of the heist members is humming it. These songs are constantly playing and being repeated and used to kind of tell their own story, as good soundtracks do with Die Hard itself. Right, Die Hard is full of Christmas music. That's not really a point that you can argue, and it really gives it that Christmas ambiance. The characters are clearly aware it's the holiday season, it's Christmas time, so they've got Christmas music on the mind. They've probably been listening to it on the radios of their cars. They've been hearing Christmas music all the time. That's why it's stuck in the character's head. They're whistling it, they're humming it, whatever. And of course, they're at a Christmas party, so Christmas music is the thing to be humming or whistling or listening to. Now, to me, the most compelling argument that confirms, without a doubt, Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie is the story. Like I mentioned earlier, Die Hard taking place on Christmas Eve is paramount to the story. Nakatomi Plaza is empty. John McClane is out there for the holidays to see his wife and his kids. Right? If it wasn't Christmas Eve, there'd be no reason John McClane was out there to see his wife, who is named Holly. Get it? Because, like, Holly in, like, Christmas, Holly, and which that does bring us to what Die Hard is really about. Yes, Die Hard is a fun, badass, awesome action flick where John McClane has to stop Hans and his goons from robbing Nakatomi Plaza and free the hostages. That's absolutely true. But that isn't really what the story is all about. The true story of Die Hard is about a man trying to reunite with his family. Christmas time, Christmas movies, Christmas songs are almost always about family or love. Nearly every single Christmas film that you know and love has something to do with family, because that's what Christmas is about. Yes, John McClane is absolutely motivated to save the lives of the hostages trapped in Nakatomi Plaza, but McClane's main motivation is to see his wife again and admit his shortcomings and make amends with her. And this is so Christmas to me. Like I said, every Christmas movie is all about family. Home Alone is a movie about a mother trying to get home to her son, or a son trying to realize that his family, while annoying, is still important to him. Elf is a story about a father and son meeting for the first time and learning to accept each other despite their flaws. The Santa Claus is a story all about a father and a son. And of course, the true story of Christmas is about a father sending his son to Earth to bring all of his children back to him. So, if a story about a man trying to get back to his family and make amends with them on Christmas Eve isn't a Christmas movie, then to be honest, I'm not quite sure that I know what is. Enjoy your time with your family this holiday season. Have a Merry Christmas. And of course, thanks for watching.
Happy trails, Hans.